Hey everyone, it's Val here at Crafts by You. Thank you for joining me. I have had my multiple panic attacks trying to film this, and so I am back again to work this out. You guys, I don't know if this happens to you when you're trying to create. Let me know whether it's like white page phobia or whatever. I forget what they call it, but it's just like I need to make something and I'm not making it. So I'm like stressing out about it. But here's the deal. Essentially, what I was trying to do was to start working on a journal project with you all. And yeah, like I just froze up and couldn't think. And you know, when I was growing up, story time, sorry if you need to fast forward, do that. But when I was growing up, I loved journals, loved notebooks. But I found that even as a kid, I would collect them and be so afraid of messing them up that I would not write in them. I would write my name in there and that would be it. And so not only did I not document or not create, then when I made something fabulous, I'm like, oh, why didn't I do it in my beautiful journal? So anyway, this project is really about me stepping out of my comfort zone, working on things in smaller amounts of time because I don't always have the 8 hours that I want to just sit and work on these. Well, you know, you have those moments where you're like catching up and you do spend that amount of time. But I just really needed to take the time and focus in again, have a little coffee, and reorganize my thoughts around this because I realized that in me stressing out about it, that might be a situation that you run into, sort of your artist block, and maybe it's something that we can kind of figure out together. So I'm gonna try to do some exercises to help me through this. I think I'm gonna scrap the other videos, so I'll just kind of start fresh again and let you guys know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the time so that I can keep these videos like truly 10 to 15 minutes max, and just put them together in a series. Okay, so essentially the project, like I said, I wanted to do an album, and I thought that instead of me, usually I really kind of visualize this finished project, and I've been collecting scraps that I just could not get rid of, or things that I just really loved and I loved it too much to put it in a project. So I really want to like get over that and move forward, because what's happened is just that I've just collected, and yeah, that's not gonna work for me. 2020, starting fresh, all that jazz. But like really though, it's time to move on. So I've got everything from scrapbook pages to trim and tags and, you know, papers that I've dyed and just bits and bobs. And I know you all have them too. So grab those things up. I think that I'm gonna try to go with sort of a what is it, a 6 by 9? Is that what I'm dealing with? Yeah, 6 by 9 size page, and I'm going to mix other pages in. I'm gonna do collage. I may even add in pages that are not this size, right? Like tip ins, but also just literally if I have, let me just find a scrap. If I've got a scrap and I want to just insert that into the piece, I may do that. I don't want to think too hard about it, but at least I want to give you guys the basics of what you would need. So you need your pile of stuff. I'm gonna try to start off with some heavier weight papers and see where that takes me. For this, I actually have watercolor paper, and it's not even an expensive one, just Artist Loft from Michaels, and I'm knowing that I use a coupon because that's just me. But this is the 140 pound, and you know, it's 11 by 15, but just cut it down to 9 by 12 and fold it in half. Or perhaps you have If my voice goes in and out, it's because I'm reaching for piles, y'all. Like, this is my working space, literally out of the whole room. So, don't let that stop you. If we can create in this little tiny area, hey, that's where the good stuff happens, right? I even have like this paint and marker pad that I'm like 99% sure this is pretty cheap. But, you know, somewhat bleed resistant, heavyweight, my behind, that's not heavyweight, but this could be a place where it might be nice to put media on and it be able to hold up to it. And then again, I also have this 9x12, and these, when they're 9x12, are perfect because you just fold them in half, right? So this one is an acrylic artist pad, and if you haven't seen this one, it's, I think you can maybe see there's some texture. So if you don't want the texture in your pieces, you can go bougie and get, like, you know, hot press watercolor paper. I don't know if I'm what it's gonna become, but I just wanted to kind of have some elements of it, and I probably will mix. Actually, this is not the watercolor. This is the acrylic paper. This is the watercolor. So I mean, these are even two different colors. So I don't know. I don't want to know right now because that's stopping me from creating. So I would just say, grab those elements. As far as the supplies, and I think maybe this first video is really just going to be about like grabbing your stuff. As far as supplies, have coffee, have a biscuit, or whatever other snacks. That's first. You've got some paper. Grab other paper. Grab the scrapbook sheets that were like the leftovers in a pad that you really couldn't use in a layout or for a card. We can paint those. Grab those. Grab those card boxes with cards in them. As far as the media to go on it, it's up to you. I would say it's nice to have gesso, and there are plenty of videos where you can make your own. It's essentially with acrylic paint, right? But black gesso, white gesso, because you can use them like acrylics, but they can also prep your surface. So perhaps if you have some paper that's not as heavy as you need it, or is not going to absorb what you're going to put on it, then gesso, that's what it's for. It's to essentially create this barrier and strengthen the paper. Glazes, I'm pretty sure I got this from Tuesday Morning, but glazes are nice. Or I've used these waxes before from Art Alchemy. It's Finnabair Prima. That's who these are from. I do like modeling paste or some kind of a paste so that you can stencil and get texture. And that's really kind of what this project's going to be about, is creating texture on the pages. And it's something that if you're on the more artistic side, you absolutely can draw and do all of that and paint beautiful things, paint all the things. But for us who are not, that artistic, or who are artistic in a different way, and maybe we need a little help, we can paint over images. Maybe it's something from magazines, or we can just, paint up backgrounds that we're going to use to create our texture. So, we'll see how that goes. I also have, I think you're going to need adhesives, right? So you can use glue stick, and that's all good. I probably will use some, but with the glue sticks, I would just say, remember to be heavy-handed with it so that things really stick. I think people usually don't like glue sticks because they feel like, well, it doesn't really hold it down. It's probably because you're just not using enough. Get in there, okay? That's what you want to do. But matte mediums, whether it's a gloss or I should say gel mediums, because they're both gels. Gel mediums are great adhesives. They're also great for creating a resist on your page if that's kind of what you're going for. That's fun to do with stencils. Maybe we'll do that. But also using it as an adhesive, using it for transfers. It really doesn't matter. I want to say it doesn't matter whether it's a gloss or a matte, or they have semi-gloss. I mean, they got everything you want out there, all right, people? But the idea here is try to use what you got. I mean, if you've got some adhesives that you thought you were going to use in card making or scrapbooking that you decided against, and they're just sitting there, use your stash. That's really what I want to do. I want to encourage using your stash. You don't need to buy stuff for this. Also, I mean, distress inks are perfect for this. Your oxide sprays. If you start getting into acrylics, and this is going to be a project that's going to take time for you, like you're not going to sit down and just bust it out, which is what I'm planning on doing. Now, I probably will clean mine up because I don't put that much out there. But if you're setting out things and you're going to take half a day, then you may want to use some sort of extender for your acrylics, where with this glazing liquid, it will make sure that that doesn't dry out as quickly. You know, watercolors are beautiful because you just re-wet them to activate them. But just a side point, you know, if you're going to do mostly acrylic type things. If you have inks are really fun to play around with. Sometimes it's watercolor inks, but if it's inks, pen inks are fun. Use those. So I don't want to limit you. I'm just trying to give you a few ideas. I know this is kind of going long. Some of these markers would be fun to do, or pull up backgrounds that you've already made that you didn't end up using and you stuck to the side. Use embossing powders. Just grab all the things and your brushes and a little water and plenty of baby wipes, and we're gonna go to town, okay, y'all? All the glitters, all the things, everything. So I'm gonna stop this video, and I hope you come back and get all your stuff together and join me for the second one. And we'll just I'll have a series of these created, so you can eventually just watch them all the way through if you like. But thank you for joining me, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. I hope you'll stick around and share with us. You know, it's our community. Share with us what you're going to work on, or what your specialty is, or what you've been hoarding the most of. And we'll figure it out together, okay? So when we come back, we're going to just kind of like get rid of these blank pages because they're freaking me out, y'all. All right? So see you in a little bit. Bye.